don't think women realize how common it is for men to be responsible for their plants dying. And I want to talk about what that's really about. Now, just in the last 24 hours, basically, I do not have service where I am, by the way. I don't know if you'll see this video anytime soon because it takes me hours to upload anything. But I'm going to talk about it anyway. Hopefully, I'll find a spot to do this. There's a woman, her dad is responsible for her pet dying. This woman, she went viral for her video about her husband not watering her hydrogen. I don't know how you say this flower. While she was away for 10 days. I will speak on this case a little bit, and then I want to speak about something even more important. So I looked at her page, and these flowers are pretty important, not because they're just like her little hobby. This is part of her income. In fact, it's part of their income. See, this whole page is about how they grew a business from like restoring properties. And this particular place, that's what it used to look like. I just went to the About Me section on her Instagram. This is what it looks like now. A whole website dedicated how they fixed this up and they rent it out, and this is a big form of their income. They have big brands rented out, blah, blah, blah. Also has 2 children, so it's like to be a mom who juggles this stuff. Now, I don't really think she realized what she was doing when she made this video. Like so many women, they'll just complain about their husband sucking, doing at something, and then it goes viral, and the entire internet's like, bury him. But I mean, she legit was sad. Again, afterwards, she has this whole video where she screenshots all the things that people said. Divorce your husband, throw that man away, bury his body under those plants. Even the original video was like, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed or something. Honey, you need to be mad. It's okay to be mad. You should probably be more mad. So then she makes this video being like, wow. And I understand, like, she's probably not used to talking about her relationship online and didn't realize that there are so many women who have been through something like this, where a man ruins the thing that is the most important to them, or ruins a source of their income, or ruins something that brings them joy. And she's probably just like, what? And you know what? She might be in the happiest marriage ever. And this is her husband screwing up big time. And the internet is going to pounce. That's what it does. I'm not going to tell her to divorce this man. I don't know them. I don't care. I just use these as teachable moments for things to consider. Because what I'm about to say, oh my God, I just make sure that y'all can't see my nipple. I'm like, oh my God. This is not about them. This is about teaching women what to look for and why these things are important. But I don't know the context of this. But I will say, this is a big red flag. But maybe he just messed up once, and the internet is doing what it does best, which is to show another example of men being terrible partners, which is usually the case. So then she does this video, and again, she doesn't seem to get it. Or she also doesn't seem to care, which I also kind of am like, yeah. I mean, she's not making like another video like a lot of women will be like, oh my God, no, he's the best. She's just like, nah, I got him back by spraying him down with water. Like, really? That's how he's going to pay? Like, just say nothing. What I want to talk about, though, is why this stuff is important. Again, this isn't about this one marriage. I don't have enough information, nor do I have enough time, nor do I care enough to go into their relationship, because she's not a celebrity. She's literally a woman who has a business, and the flowers are somewhere involved in that. But I think she will learn now to never talk about her marriage on the internet. Now, I don't think she did what a lot of women do, which is either A, and Cecilia Regina talks about this a lot. By the way, we had a live, it'll be on my YouTube eventually, and join my Patreon if you want to be at our lives. Got a good one coming up on September 4th with one of the lawyers who took down Larry Nassar. More on that later. I really can barely watch any videos, much less upload anything. So I don't know if you see this. But one of the things that Cecilia Regina talks about is that some women post things on the internet because they really don't realize that their husbands are being awful. And they're just like, and it doesn't mean their husbands are awful, but they're being awful and selfish and lazy. But, you are not going to meet a man that doesn't have entitlement he needs to unlearn. You will not meet a single one of them, not a single one, even the most progressive man. Sometimes the most progressive men have the most to unlearn because they don't think they have anything to unlearn, which makes them more dangerous sometimes. But some women just post things online and we're like, oh, wow, I definitely need to not air dirty laundry online because the internet I look terrible and he looks terrible. Never again. But then there's other women who do this, who enjoy all of the reassurance that they get from people being like, yeah, but they're never going to do anything about it. A lot of times, and this is what a lot of codependent women do, is they're really, it's almost like they learn to survive their situation by getting empathy and attention for him being the bad guy. But then, they don't want to actually leave them, but they just, it's almost like a pressure valve release. You know what I mean? They're like, they get all kinds of sympathy. They get other women being like, yeah. And then they're like, okay, cool, but they're never going to leave them. And so those kinds of videos annoy me, because it's like, come on, you're like, and a lot of women who are in bad marriages reinforce bad marriages, and their friends reinforce bad marriages because they just complain about their husbands all the time, but they never actually hold those men accountable. I get it. I know why they do that, but anyway, I find that content very frustrating, and I find those married women to be very frustrating in general, which is why I'm usually not friends with those married women. Most of my friends are single or divorced or whatever, or they're in marriages where they're actually healthy because they're working things through. They hold themselves accountable, they hold their husbands accountable, and they're like unlearning and all this stuff alongside. I'm not interested in just listening to someone complain about their husband, but actually, it's like listening to someone who's an addict complain about their alcohol or something, or complain about the impact of drinking so much, but will literally never do anything to try to work on their addiction. And as somebody who's had addiction, I understand. And relationships are addiction. Relationships are actually absolutely addictions for a lot of people, myself included. I've talked about this plenty. And then there's the other kind of couple that literally makes a ton of money from rage baiting. I find those to be the worst kind, because they're making money off of triggering traumatized women on the internet. I will never, ever be okay with it. But what I want to talk about with this plant thing, this isn't necessarily about this. I think this lady's the first category, being like, oops, uh-oh, not going to do that again. I'm definitely not talking about my marriage ever again, because the internet is full. But that just goes to show you how many women have been with men who are so awful that is why the videos go viral. But I want women to understand that sometimes, like, that thing is probably him just not caring. Him just like not caring, not thinking about her. Maybe he just forgot. But that to me is like, come on, bro. Like, you are still so selfish. Doesn't mean he's abusive. Doesn't mean he's a narcissist. He just sounds like a classic selfish man who puts himself first. And it never occurred to him to put taking care of his wife's flowers at the top of his list while she's gone. That is so many women's realities. And if you are with a man like that, doesn't mean he's abusive, doesn't mean he's a narcissist. And it just means that he just centers himself. I'm not interested in that. Personally, I don't ever want to be with that. I hope this umbrella does not blow away. I have rigged it with the carabiner because, anyway, this is when my outdoor skills really come into play. But I do want women to pay attention to if a man is ruining your plants, because this is about something, what it could be. This is the worst case scenario, something so much worse. And that is men who find the one thing that you care the most about, and they want to take that from you because it's about the joy it gives you. It is about literally the one thing you care the most about. Now, sometimes it's the kids. Sometimes it's your pet. Sometimes it's your plants. In my case with my ex, it was my art. I haven't told y'all the whole dramatic story, but when I left my ex, I always assumed that I was like 10 steps ahead of him, and he was always at least 10 steps ahead of me. That man knew, like, I didn't have very many valuable things other than my computer and my truck at the time. And he knew, I don't know how he knew, but he knew the most precious thing. I must have said it at some point. Don't ever tell, well, whatever, they'll figure it out. He knew I was going to leave him. I had a Ziploc bag, because it's me. Everything important to me I kept in Ziplocs. Maybe that's from just working in the outdoors in the water. A Ziploc bag with all my SIM cards. This is before we had clouds and stuff. With all my stories, like pictures of things from all of my stories. Pictures of all my travels. Pictures that literally were like visual journals for me, for my storytelling, whether it's writing or whatever. He stole that. Why? So he could have access to me. Best case scenario. Worst case scenario, he takes from me the thing that meant more to me than anything in my life. And that was intentional. I really want women to start paying close attention to this stuff because it is a huge red flag and is sabotaging something you love. That man hates you. So let's say it's not plants. Let's say it's not your pet or whatever. Let's say it is your career. So for example, as a storyteller, like I don't usually feature photos in any of my stories. Now that I'm on like doing video stuff a little bit more, just because it's fun and visual. But as a writer, whenever I'm like traveling anywhere, a lot of times if you look through my camera roll, you'll be like, what on earth? Why did she take like I'll probably even take a photo of this little, setup right here to I'm a visual person. The details is how you do storytelling. So for example, here's a little writing tip for anybody who's into writing. If I was going to explain a guy that I like, this one dude I hooked up with, Dallas, he's a raft guide. But like, I could just be like, oh, he's your classic raft guide, whatever, outdoorsy bro. Like he doesn't make much money and blah, blah, blah. But a better way to describe him would be he had, he wore a down coat with duct tape covering all the holes. That's actually me too. That's like how I used to, like I would never get that thing sewed up. There's a difference between someone who wears like a Patagonia jacket who has duct tape covering all of the holes that feathers don't fall out versus somebody in, I don't know, New York City who has a down jacket. If they have a hole in it, they're either going to throw that thing away or exchange it for a new one or have it like sewn. They're not putting duct tape on it. So little details of things, visuals. I'll even take pictures of things to remind me of things that smelled, just to put me there when I tell stories. And also, like, I don't even plan on telling most of these stories. They're more for my memory, right? There's so much of my life I don't remember. And so I've been kind of taking things I want to keep memories, but I don't even show my pictures to most people. They're more for me. Oh my God, this umbrella. This umbrella just hit this couple in the head. That is why I have mine anchored with a carabiner. These things are dangerous. And it's so funny. The woman ran off after the umbrella and the man just sat there. You tell me men are protectors. I will never believe it. Ever. He just sat there. Oops. And she's like running after it so other people don't get hurt. And now she's checking on the couple that it hit to make sure they're okay when he's just not doing anything. Oh my God. I learned so much about patriarchy just hanging out at the beach, I swear to God. Anyway, back to my point. This was like over 10 years of photos was on SIM cards from all my travels. All my travels from every country, from like working on a strawberry farm in Argentina when I was woofing. Like everything. Those pictures, like I literally, it's the older I get, the less I remember. And so like, and my dad died of Alzheimer's, okay? So I really want to be able to tell stories and also just have the stories, right? This man, as soon as I left, the day I was leaving, on our way out of town, because my friend Annie was literally driving me out of town, he thought I'd already left. Because I lied, and I was staying at my friend Scott's house, who was out of town. He let us like hunker down and hide out there that night. He sends me a photo of me of the bag of my SIM cards. He's like, "Guess you don't want these, huh?" My heart. I was like, that is like. I mean, I've never had kids and never want to have kids. That is as close as you holding my child hostage. I mean, this is my baby. I have sacrificed so much for my career, for my love of storytelling. Like, it's one reason why I don't have any money, having to live in the most expensive cities in the world, not taking better jobs because I needed to work around the schedule of performing and everything like that, and just not getting paid for my work in general. And he stole it. He thought I'd already left town, so he basically thought he had just like, that was his revenge. And best case scenario that he got to see me again. But I think actually he didn't even want to. I think he even literally just did that as a like, screw you. I was devastated. So we had to divide this whole plan to get back my SIM card because that was my life. Over a decade of my life, he stole from me. Why? Because he knew the thing precious to me. So I am telling you, men who accidentally destroy things that are very valuable to you, or they don't water your plants. Like, men have been known to poison people's dogs. We know that they half the time they don't even want the children. They literally fight in court to get access to the kids, not because they want to be parents, but because they want to screw that mother over, or because they want her money, because half these men are like hobos and they want her money and access to her money. They don't want to take care of the kids. They want child support. Hello, Britney Spears' ex literally moved those kids to another state so he could collect longer. Anyway, you got to be very careful with these men, and if they, pay attention to how they treat the things that you love the most, the people that you love the most. Your hobbies, do they make time for your hobbies? Do they let you pursue your hobbies, or there's always something in the way? Because I'm telling you, the first time that man got physical with me, the hobo, was the day of my one-woman show. I still did my show after having a TV and a VCR thrown at me and him almost biting my finger off. If you're in graduate school and he picks a fight before a big test, or you know what I mean, they will always, the timing of them having a little hissy fit is always very intentional. And it's almost always about you finding joy or importance or something. They want to sabotage that. Best case scenario, they're jealous of you. Worst case scenario, they literally hate you. Please pay attention to this stuff. And I highly suggest you Google men unaliving. Don't use that word. Somebody left a comment be an adult, use the real word. I blocked you, by the way. Don't talk to me that way. Don't assume that I'm doing this because I'm not an adult. It's called, oh my God. Y'all, the way people talk to me on here, I'm like, you think I like using the word grape? It fills me with so much rage that I have to say the word grape. Anyway, sorry. Oops, I'm a little bitter about that, but that just happened. But anyway, I forgot what I was saying. Sorry. Pay close attention to the way that men treat your career, your hobbies, your passions, your friends, your art, the things that bring you joy, and especially your plants. Google, that's where I was going with that. Google, Reddit, husband doesn't water plants or something like that, or whatever. Figure out the words. It's horrifying. You have no idea how often women's husbands and boyfriends destroy their plants. It's intentional, y'all. It's usually intentional, and even if it's not, it means they're just selfish and not thoughtful. On the rare occasion, they literally forgot, in which case they need a lesson in they better prioritize your stuff or you're done. Anyway, thanks for listening. I hope you get to see this within the next few days, if not a few weeks. I'm doing my best here to make an income with no signal. I was not planning on this. Anyway, thanks for listening. Let me know what y'all think, and if you have examples, let me know, and let me know if you heard the comment song. Et voila! Welcome to the comment song, light show edition. Sorry, this comment song is gonna suffer because I'm covered in sand. I'm on a beach trying to do technical things, and my umbrella almost went away. Thank God for the carabiner attaching it to my bag. Something about the beach I find very stressful. Oh, hey, comment song, light show. Light show. This was free and super cool. I have so much to share with y'all, but I just don't have a signal, and I find that frustrating, but it's okay. Look, a desk lamp light thing. Cute. Oh, cute. Comment song. Okay, it's over now. Anyway, thanks. More soon. Let me know if you heard this. Bye.